Mattel Creations is doing another big MOTU Origins thing, and they're actually giving us a shot at figuring out which of these things are going first. Let's talk about it.
Hey, kid. Yeah, you. Everyone thinks toys are fun, but this is a channel for adults. Yeah, I said it. If you're under the age of 18, go get your parents before you come in here. If you're under the age of 13, scram! Let's get on with the show.
Last year's MOTU Origins Eternia crowdfund was really successful for Mattel and showed that there was really a rabid fan base for even the big, gaudy stuff. So, as we're getting closer to this age where all of the MOTU Origins vintage stuff is going to be on Mattel Creations, it does make sense that they're going to do another crowdfund made-to-order kind of thing. It makes even further sense that they're going to ask people which of several ideas they have are the best ones to start with. I want to stay up front that I have my preferences. I'll explain what I voted for and why, versus, upon reflection, what I think should end up happening and why. So let's get right into it. There's the Fright Zone playset, the Snake Lair playset, the Horde Command Crawler, the Doom Tower playset, and the Attack Track vehicle that's Filmation accurate. So I think all of these should be made. It's a question of when and context, okay? So for me, that's the biggest consideration with these. You gotta figure a few things. One, the vintage MOTU Origins stuff is now meant to be exclusive to Mattel Creations. It's the only MOTU Origins stuff that is exclusive. So, I think that when it comes to Mattel Creations crowdfunding, the vintage stuff or vintage style stuff should go there. Plus, we have the Cartoons Classics and Origins coming out next year. So anything Filmation accurate probably can wait till then, till next year when there's something more to support it in context. So I'll go into further detail on that here as well. So, first things first is the Fright Zone playset. I think this is the clear winner and the easiest get, for the simple fact that it's clear they're not going to go retail with this, for the simple fact they've made no announcement, that we've seen no prototypes, and we know vintage stuff's going on Mattel Creations no matter what we do. So if there's even a chance they're not going to make it, I want this to be first, so that I know I have that in my collection. And I voted for this. It was the first vote that I did. My second vote was for the Attack Track, which is Filmation accurate, knowing this is not going to be the first thing that they make. I just wanted to show them that there is interest in that. What I think should be second in line would be the Snake Lair. Okay, so the Snake Lair was never made, and it was something that it might be a bit overkill with this being the year of the Snake Men and all this, but in light of the the Lady Hiss, like whatever Queen Hiss, Snake Lady, I forget her official name to be perfectly honest with you, but she's an impressive figure. She needs a place to stay, and the Snake Men need their own spot so the Skeletor could have his Snake Mountain back. The word snake, someone should trademark the word snake so that someone is making money every time they say the word snake. Ugh, it's crazy. But the Fright Zone, we're just going to go back here. The Fright Zone is definitely cool. Snake Mountain got upscaled ever so slightly with this Origins release, and I hope they're doing the same with Fright Zone if they do it. I hope we get an articulated snake dragon thing instead of the puppet. Looks like there's a few play features in here that we weren't getting before. And if they go that direction with it, I'm all in. Plus, because they're going to be, by comparison, smaller than Snake Mountain, probably, or at least equal in size and material, it's not going to be a crazy amount of money. It's still probably going to be like $300, but it's not going to be Eternia money. I still lament not getting an Eternia last year. I still want one. But as time goes on and I see the possibilities of these other play sets, I'm less worried about that. Although there are some people that have expressed concern. It's like, we don't need more play sets. We're missing figures and this and that. I understand that. I hear you. Those are probably going to come. I mean, the Mattel Creations The MOTU brand specifically said, we are going to make these. And they keep saying they want to finish out the line. And I have a tendency to believe them. Even though there's no big dinosaurs present on this list. And there should be. But I understand why these things are here. So, Fright Zone, number one choice, should totally be done. I think it's the right choice. Snake Lair looks really cool. Looks somewhat unique in the space, but still would fit nicely with Gray Skull and Snake Mountain. I think it's a good get as well. I just feel like Fright Zone should go first, and maybe we should get Snake Lair like right after it, like 3 to 6 months after it. Again, because of the size, it shouldn't be crazy expensive. I think it's a good get. All three of these other items, the Doom Tower, the Attack Track, and the Horde Command Crawler, I think they're all something that we should be exploring next year when the Cartoon Classics line comes out. Specifically with the Doom Tower and the Horde Command Center. She-Ra's 40th anniversary is next year. And we haven't got confirmation we're getting a bunch of those characters, but it would make the most sense to get them with the Cartoon Classics. And you put those two together, you get a revamped Crystal Castle. There's going to be a lot of happy people, myself included. I have a vintage Crystal Castle buried back there beneath a bunch of figures, and I need to get that on display to show nice. But I'm excited to see what they could do with the She-Ra property, and maybe make it the focus in terms of vehicles and playsets, for the most part. Obviously, Eternos is missing. There's a lot of great 3D printed stuff out there. Shout out to my man at Mr. Home Arcade for putting that on display for people. There's lots of opportunities here with the animation stuff, but I think it should stay with the animation stuff. There's a lot of retail opportunities for that stuff, and I don't think that Mattel Creations should have to be the place where we should have to crowdfund this stuff to make it happen. I think smart bet would be a Crystal Castle, and certainly some of the other locales from the cartoon, depending upon what they're wanting. Some version of Eternos would be a very smart thing to do with the Cartoon Classics. That way you're getting a little bit of everything, right? So I really feel that Fright Zone and Snake Lair need to happen, this year and maybe early next year. And as they get the Cartoon Classics out there, you're going to be seeing people that are starting collecting this line that haven't been up to this point or have been dabbling. Because the idea of being able to start from scratch, okay, so let's say you don't want a regular MOTU Origins, but you love the cartoon style, you can have a whole collection of characters starting from scratch. And you'll get some new people into this hobby, which is great. But you want to be able to hit those people when their nostalgia and their buying power is at its highest, when they're first hooked, right? That's when you reveal crowdfunds for, say, a Doom Tower or the Attack Track or the Horde Command Crawler. Because that's when you're going to get people that are that much more into it. So I really feel like that's the way it needs to go. For the animation stuff, wait till the animation figures come out, capitalize on that. For the other two, let's just get them done. I realize that's a bit convoluted logic, and I voted Fright Zone and Attack Track. Probably should have voted Snake Lair because of the way I'm thinking, but here's why I didn't. The Snake Lair has by far the most vocal comments aside from Fright Zone. They're like neck and neck. And I don't think there's any question that people really want a Snake Lair, myself included, and I think it's going to happen either way. There's been no indication that if something doesn't get voted in, that it's not going to get done. They just want to know which one that we want first. So again, hoping for Fright Zone. Snake Lair is going to be cool, and I want all of it. I want all of it. So that's where my head's at. And you guys tell me what you think. Does my logic make sense? Would you vote in a similar way? Have you voted? If you haven't, let me know. This thing's over in a couple days. Let's see where we're at. So, whether you're into this or not, whether you voted or not, for everybody, may all your card backs be straight, may all your grinds be merry, and may you be able to find anything you're looking for at any given time at a price you feel is reasonable, especially if it's oversized vehicles and playsets for MOTU Origins. Cheers, guys. Special thanks to our patrons and members who you're seeing on the screen now. Thank you so much for your support. It really helps.